to be worshiping here with you all again. I am excited that you all let me do weird things. And so thanks for putting up with me and inviting me back here. So volcanoes. They are fascinating creations on this earth. They're seen as beautiful mountains on the outside, breaking through the flat earth to produce rolling hills to admire. And for the avid hiker like myself, they produce yet another adventure to climb someday. On the inside, volcanoes provide an environment for rock to melt and eventually turn into molten rock that we know as magma. When the magma rises over time, it reaches the top of the volcano and erupts. As I'm sure many of us have probably played around with our own homemade volcano experiments, we know that volcanoes require just the right amount of ingredients to erupt. The baking soda sitting at the bottom of our clay-made or sand-made volcanoes is the molten rock, the magma. When we add the vinegar, the Earth's gases, to the volcano, it bubbles up and spews magma all over our clay-made creation and anything else in its path. In real life, this magma can be deadly, as it spews over all of creation, destroying anything in its pathway. However, there is also good that comes from volcanoes. Aside from the fascination that volcanoes provide children in sandbox experiments and thrill-seeking hikers, the volcano ash after an eruption can fertilize the soil that then produces more luscious crops than the soil found here in Kansas. Volcanoes are key for our environment because they have helped cool the earth by removing its heat from the interior for many years. Without volcanoes, we would be even more miserable today in the sweltering heat than we already are. First comes destruction in order for the fruitful soil to be produced, for a wonderful banquet to be held on this earth, hosted by the God of heavens and earth. Now, giving a sermon on the destruction of the earth would not be my first topic choice. I, like many of us, have a well-crafted version of what the apocalypse will entail. Brown, desolate lands filled with lots of fire, meals full of expired canned soup, and alas, no more Netflix. In Greek, the term apocalypse can be translated into uncovering or revealing. This upcoming destruction of the earth that Isaiah is prophesizing is not portraying anything new. The people that Isaiah is talking to have brought chaos to the earth, and violence has infiltrated the holy city. Isaiah is only uncovering what has already been present from within. And I want to explore this notion of an apocalypse of uncovering. It's an uncovering of the harm and destruction that is already present in the world, so that we can then be open to receive the wonderful feast God has in store for us. Like the people that Isaiah preached to, I can attest that I too do not like to be told about the destruction that surrounds me. I'm an expert avoider. I have tightly sealed mason jars of trauma, grief, and hatred tucked neatly away in the back of my heart. It is only when trenches that surround these tightly sealed mason jars and they are unexpectedly splashed into that one of the lids falls off, revealing a whole array of emotion. But with this hiding of emotions and experiences, so that I do not have to feel and unpack them, I cannot come to true healing. It is only with revealing these past lived experiences that I can truly move forward and heal. Now, I have this unexplainable fear that children will stop breathing. I taught preschool for 4 years while living in Kansas City and would often find myself paranoid that one of the 3-year-olds sitting at my snack table would start choking on their Boom Chicka Pop popcorn. I would cut all of their snacks into bite-sized pieces so that there would be no chance I'd have to use the skills I learned in CPR training. And whenever I hold a baby, I watch to make sure that their chest rises and falls when they sleep, because then I know they're still breathing. And it wasn't until a few years ago when I finally put the pieces together about why I was so scared children would stop breathing. My niece Amelia is the spunkiest 10-year-old that I know. She never stops, and she knows exactly what she wants: a cell phone and candy. But Amelia was born 3 months early, and at a mere 2.9 pounds, she fought a hard fight because she was determined to breathe on her own from day one. And the first time that she stopped breathing in my arms, it was because she fell asleep so soundly that her heart slowed down enough to set off the heart monitor. My sister said it was because she felt comfortable in my arms, but I was not convinced, and hence my mind created this new fear. Had I realized sooner that one of my hidden mason jars contained this story, maybe I would have been a less stressed out preschool teacher during snack break. My preschoolers knew how to breathe on their own, and today, Amelia chases after a soccer ball with some of the best elementary soccer players in Wichita. In chapter 24 of Isaiah, we heard how Isaiah is pointing out the wrongs of the earth. You did this, and now these horrible and destructive things are happening around you. Isaiah spoke to the people of how the earth is mourning and wasting away. Even the greatest of people on earth waste away. The earth is suffering from the sins of its people. Isaiah is saying that people have failed, and their failure is not only affecting each individual, but the failures are causing the land to wither up and be destroyed. But then, in the next chapter, we hear how on this mountain the Lord of hosts will make for all peoples a feast of rich food. Here, God is promising to swallow up death, to wipe away the tears from all faces and the disgrace of God's people. Death will be replaced with life, a fruitful soil. Tears will be replaced with joy. The volcano erupted, but in its path it left a fruitful soil of new life. After all of the destruction has been revealed and we feel disgraced, God is still here. Nadia Bolz-Weber, writer of Pastrix, The Cranky, Beautiful Faith of a Sinner and Saint, writes in her book, God's grace is not defined as God being forgiving to us even though we sin. Grace is when God is a source of wholeness, which makes up for my failings. My failings hurt me and others and even the planet, and God's grace to me is that my brokenness is not the final word. It's that God makes beautiful things. It's God saying, I love the world too much to let your sin define you and be the final word. I am a God who makes all things new. Isaiah is uncovering to the people that the molten rock is rising to the surface. Get ready for the eruption that will happen. Isaiah is calling for the people listening to prepare, to do something before that volcano erupts. And then after that eruption, God will be here. God will wipe away our tears, pick up our mason jar lids that have fallen on the ground. God will make things new. And Isaiah is not only uncovering the destruction of his time, but he's also uncovering the destruction of today. We are hiding from the destruction on this earth. There are political lines drawn, wars in Gaza and Ukraine, tornado destructions, and droughts erupting all around us. We are failing our people, and we're failing this land. Yes, I have hope for that big banquet I know that God has in store for us, but I don't want to just sit here twiddling my thumbs waiting for that eruption to happen so that I can join the party after the destruction has been revealed. We can sit here and wait for the destruction to be revealed with the rest of our world, or we can do something about this land and uncover that wrong that is all around us. There is a song that was used during the Poor People's Campaign several summers ago entitled, "Someone's Hurting My Brother." The song was originally created during a town hall meeting in which people were voicing their concerns over an energy company pouring leftover coal ash into low-income neighborhoods. The lyrics arose after people voiced their testimonies of the hurt that they had experienced both physically and mentally from the company who decided that their home was a good place to leave their unwanted coal ash. The Poor People's Campaign used this movement and this song to uncover the racism, poverty, and ecological devastation that are in this nation. Somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on far too long. Somebody's poisoning the water, and it's gone on far too long. Nobody's feeding the hungry, and it's gone on far too long, and we won't be silent anymore. Movements like the Poor People's Campaign brought awareness to the destruction in this earth. They decided to do something about that destruction and reveal it to others in order to bring about change. So we can choose to sit and wait for God's grace to come. God is here and God will always be here. But what about the people and the land that are hurting now? We can do something about it. We can help one another in uncovering the wrongs of this earth and change it. And we might fail along the way. I've had many human failures recently, but what about the times when we don't fail, or when we learn from those failures and do something even better? What if our actions create a better environment to live in? So let's join together and reveal our wrongs, erupt that volcano, and with God's help, celebrate together in a delicious feast. God is here now and forever. Let's not forget that.